SCAPE stands for Shaping Climate Change Adaptive Places. A couple of key words in our project is water management is key, climate change is important, and landscape-led design is the third concept.
SCAPE is a European project in which 8 partners from Belgium, Flanders, the Netherlands and Great Britain are involved. They will develop landscape-led design solutions for water management that make coastal landscapes in the Two Seas area better adapted and more resilient to climate change.
It is essential that we, within the water problems that we are facing today due to climate change, it is very important that we try and deal with water in the future, not only in the rural areas, but also in the urban areas and the suburban areas. Where do we go with all the excess of water? How do we deal with it? How can we retain water for periods of drought so that there's enough water, for instance, for agriculture? So that is one of the key questions that we're asking in SCAPE.
SCAPE holds 6 pilot projects, 2 rural, 2 fringe and 2 urban pilots. The rural pilots are situated in Kent and in Flanders, Zwin. The urban pilots are situated in Ostend and in Brighton. The fringe pilots are situated in Ostend and in Middelburg. During the cross-border seminar in February 2017 in Nature Park Zwin in Belgium, close to the Dutch border, the partners present their projects. The second day of the seminar, the SCAPE members visit a pilot project in Nature Park Zwin. The Zwin is being enlarged by 120 hectares and a new dike is being built. A new pump station is being constructed, next to which a 10,000 cubic meter water reservoir has to be dug out.
We want to create that in a very way and look and feel of the natural landscape. So that's the ambition of the SCAPE project. Look at these building plans and make them more look like natural, more integrated in the landscape we knew here from years. It's more than a technical question. We want to make it a very qualitative place for the people to enjoy. We want to know how English people look at climate change and how they integrate that in their project, and maybe it inspires us to do things better on the Flemish side.
The Hazegras Fortress is our next stop. The site, with 16th century sluices, has always been an important place as to the water management of the region. In the 18th century, the Austrians built a clay fort to protect the sluice. There are bunkers from World War I and II, and the site was protected in the 90s.
We need to transport a lot of water through or around the forts, and we look how we can deal best with the heritage one way and with the water, the needs of the water the other way. So we have to combine those 2 aspects and we try to make it for both things the best solution.
The old water treatment plant, built in 1928, is our last stop. It is one of the oldest water treatment plants in Europe. The industrial heritage site is protected. Can it be of any use in the future?
The aim of the workshop is to think about how can we make use of this industrial heritage site. Can it be used for a visitor center? Can it be used for perhaps fish farming? Can it be used for as a cultural site? It's an interesting place. It can be used in an educational way, perhaps. What can you do with it? Given the fact that it's an industrial site, so it's protected. Also, given the fact that at the other side there's a nature development project coming, so I think in 10-15 years the whole area will look different, and this could have a function for the whole area.
The European Landscape Convention is a very useful tool for the participating countries.
The idea of the European Landscape Convention means that all the countries who are participating in the SCAPE project can use the principles within the European Landscape Convention to guide their projects, which is a good way to unite all of the different countries together and ensure that they're all working to the same aims and objectives. Within the European Landscape Convention, there's a number of articles which talk about things like applying landscape in a holistic sense to your project. So it's an integrative approach, if you like. And it also talks about raising awareness and the importance of communicating to people.
During the workshop, Flemish, Dutch and British water management architects and planners discuss the pilot projects and come up with original ideas.
Knokke has now a new swimming pool, but more inland, but not in a surrounding with all this nature. So you should talk not of a swimming pool just for children, but really for treatment. So you have brackish water, you have very salt water, you can pump it up, you have all things what you need for that.
I don't know, we should at least think about it. It's a very nice idea.
It's a lovely idea.
Also, you know, you need
Feitelijk, als je een kreeg wilt doen, zou je dat hier kunnen herstellen, hè? Hier, denk ik. Ja. Met een variatie aan wat riet, aan wat doen kronkelen en zo dan gezegd. Dan moet je die 10.000 kuub realiseren in het diepste en het wat lagere met plasbras en dergelijke meer.
Dus nu inderdaad. Wanted to say we have this city Vere, and they also have this bastions and ramparts, and they made the hiking route of the ramparts and made it more attractive for people because there are some crossings over the moat by means of pulling a rope and then go on a vlot.
On an earlier meeting, SCAPE organised a visit to the two pilot projects in Ostend. The Gardens of Stene is a new type of park on the edge of the city. It measures 35 hectares. Vegetables are being grown and it is part of the green belt. In the middle there's a big meadow.
We have a creek which is in the new park, which is in the tuin of Stene, and we want to capture more water on the site, and so that's the reason why we are in the SCAPE project. We know there's a climate change, there will be more rain, so we will have to have more water on the site to prevent the city from flooding.
Setting up our living environments, we will have to pay attention to climate change. The SCAPE pilot projects are therefore being examined by an interdisciplinary team of experts. The climate test seemed very relevant for the Gardens of Stene.
One of the things which came out is perhaps that we are going to work with level-controlled drainage. So level-controlled drainage wasn't in the project. Of course, we looked to capture more water, about 15,000 cube meter extra captation in the site. But with level-controlled drainage, you can really manage the water.
The Victorialaan is the third Flemish pilot project of SCAPE. It is situated on the eastern bank of the city. The Victorialaan is one of the main streets in the new part of the city that is being built.
We want to create a city river. Nowadays we put the rainwater in pipes under the ground, and with the SCAPE project we will have a new method of design, a new concept to put the water on the surface in a city river. We will keep the rainwater on the site themselves and not transport it to other sites or in the harbour. When it rains a lot, the river will be large. When it's a dry period, the river will be very small. But we will have an attraction to the people that they can see how the water evaluated after the rain falls.
Specialists are invited to give their opinion about the projects and the working methods. Are the historical maps accurate? Is it necessary to go more into detail concerning the historical site Hazegrasfort? Wim Timmermans warns the participants that they have to make up their minds at some point.
When you are making plans, there's a lot of discussions, and sometimes people say we want to know everything. And I think if you are making let's say landscape-led design plans, then there should be a balance between what you need to know and what you need to understand. I mean, to make a decision on what you do, understanding is enough, because it's about very complex systems and you will never know all the details. And if you still want to know all the details, that means that you are going on with research and discussion for 10 years.
Senior landscape planner Ruth Charles is delighted with the pilot projects.
I was really impressed with all the projects and the way they've kind of embraced the idea of a landscape-led approach and applying the principles of the convention to help guide their work. And I think they all kind of embraced that really well, and it shone through in their descriptions of their projects that we heard yesterday. The Zwin project was fantastic, and they talked really well about using the historic maps to inform how they're going to potentially change the landscape into the future, and it demonstrated that there can be a number of kind of conflicts arising between different sectors within a landscape definition. So the importance of heritage versus the importance of an ecological benefit versus trying to protect people's homes from flooding. So having all of that information together is a important way to start a project, so you can understand how best to make decisions into the future.
SCAPE is partly financed through the Interreg 2Cs programme. This is a European territorial cooperation programme. Europe pays 60% of the €6,300,000 involved in SCAPE. Ostend is a leading partner.
That means that we have to, that in the end we are responsible for bringing the project to a wonderful end and keeping all the partners together, keeping focus on our main goals, on the targets, and making sure we reach all those ambitions that we set up for ourselves. It's the first time that we are lead partner of a big European project, so it's new, but it's exciting.